Extra as the rain continues for the rest of this evening. Get ready to pull out those jackets as we head into the end of the week. We're on your side with how much colder we're expecting it to get and how long the temperatures are going to stick around.
Yeah, look at those forecast wind gusts. One of the things we're going to be talking about, and even though the severe weather threat was low today, it's still best to keep those safety tips in mind. We're speaking to our friends from the Jefferson County EMA on how to prepare for dangerous weather.
Live on your side. First Alert Weather Extra starts right now.
And welcome back into First Alert Weather Extra. Tania joining us again this evening. Hey, we got some rain.
Yeah, we got some rain. It's been pretty on and off all day long.
I can't tell you last time it rained from midnight. It started, last night at midnight in West Alabama, and it's still going on right now.
It's still going on. Yeah. So some much needed rainfall. That's the good thing. But that also means you need to be careful out there on those roads.
Yeah, it's yucky out there.
It really is.
Let's go ahead right now and get you ready for this evening and what's on the way. We do have a big drop in temperatures coming up here right now, near 70 in some areas. Well, by Thursday morning, it's weather whiplash. Get ready. We're down to 38 degrees. And when you see a change like that, we're going to have some windy conditions coming up here over the next couple of days. Right now, a lot of rain moving in across the area, and it's still coming down across Chilton County, seeing even some reds and yellows on the map there, showing that the rain's a little bit heavier here south of Shelby County Airport, but still enough rain. It's a wet go from Tuscaloosa to Birmingham, and all this is lifting in East Alabama. It's not over. All this is moving our way. So again, a lot of rain lifting in. We have this southwest flow, and the thing is, the colder air's on the way. We have a cold front moving our way. It's just not here yet. It's going to be tomorrow. So there's really this isn't rushing to get out of here. As you can tell, these showers continue to generate. And when you get this southwest flow kind of setup, what this generally means for us is we end up with a lot of moisture overrunning the area, and it's going to take a little while for even the lightest of the drizzle and mist to taper off. So that's going to impact visibility tonight. Again, more showers as we zoom in over Birmingham, back in towards Hueytown and into West Alabama. East Alabama, a steady flow of those off and on showers. Looks like a couple of breaks out there, but again, patchy fog, that is going to be an issue for tonight. So make sure you have the First Alert Weather app, but the radar looks pretty much how it looked a couple hours ago. Still a lot of rain showing up out there. The First Alert Weather Day has ended. We're no longer seeing a marginal severe storm risk, but again, certainly impactful with the wet roadways out there tonight. So play it safe, take it slow out there tonight. The temperatures still close to 70, as I noted. Overnight lows tonight will drop off to near 54 degrees, but as we take a look at the visibility, I know that said Monday, but this is Tuesday and Wednesday. You can see right there by Wednesday, late tonight and into the early morning hours, low visibility. So late tonight, fog could be an issue out there. Could be some dense fog in some spots, and tomorrow we will start to see some improvements during the day. Actually looks like we could have some sunshine by tomorrow afternoon, but as the winds pick up, look at this wind gust tomorrow over 20 miles per hour. Check out Thursday. I wanted to show you right there. You can see 30, 40 mile per hour winds. So we are going to have some gusty winds building in here over the next couple of days. And last night, with all the rain that was moving in, we're going to get back to weather here in a few moments and talk more about those falling temperatures for the end of the week. Last night, I had some reports that was that thunder. Actually, it was an earthquake that happened last night in Walker County. Meteorologist Matt Daniel joins us now with a more in-depth look into where it happened and how common it is to experience earthquakes in Alabama.
Well, late last night, if you were in parts of northeastern Walker County, you may have felt a little bit of shaking and wondered, what was it? Well, we actually had a weak earthquake occur. It's right around 10 o'clock last night, November 18th, and then we'll zoom on in the parts of Walker County. There's Sipsey. This earthquake actually happened about 2.5 miles just west-northwest of that area, and it was a very shallow earthquake, about a 1.1 mile in depth. So that's shallow. In other words, when you get those shallow quakes, you're more likely going to feel it. If it's a deeper quake, usually it's a little bit harder to detect, especially if it's a weak quake like a 2.4. So there you go. Based off the USGS, we've got some areas that actually made reports that they felt something. So you see these colors indicating several spots, maybe indicating they felt some type of shake right around 10 o'clock last night. So of course, all across Walker County, parts of Jefferson County, up towards Blount, Coleman, even in parts of Shelby County and even into Marion County claim that they report a little bit of shaking. I had some of you on my Facebook page also report they felt something, were a little unsure of what it was. So here's earthquake scale. Of course, when we think earthquakes, we think major earthquakes, things you would see in California or across the ocean as you go into like Japan where they have that ring of fire. Well, scales 0 to 10, this was a 2.4, so that's less than 2.5. It's usually hard to feel, but detectable. It's usually quakes that are about 5.5 or greater. That's when you're going to get damage to buildings and significant issues. So usually we don't see that here. We do have a little bit of a seismic zone though that's particularly heightened across eastern Tennessee into far northwest Georgia and into northeast Alabama. And so this is probably the result of why we felt a small quake there in Walker County in the Appalachian area. So as we go into another fault right here farther to the west and around the Memphis area, this is also another significant zone where you can get some earthquakes. So we're sort of sandwiched between the two, but typically you don't think about big earthquakes here in the southeast. Normally they're about 3.0 or less. But I did do a little research based off the Geological Survey of Alabama, and here's the top 3 quakes that have been recorded here in Alabama. Believe it or not, Irondale back in October of 1916 had a 5.1 magnitude quake. Escambia County, October 24th, 1997 was a 4.9, and also a 4.9 in Fort Payne back in 2003 of April. So there you go, the top 3 strongest quakes. It's not uncommon to see them, but usually if they occur, they're fairly weak. We've seen several of them, especially in parts of Sumter, Pickens, and Greene counties.
Well, now we're talking temperatures, and if most of you have been enjoying your pumpkin spice latte with the AC cranked on, you're not alone. Data from NOAA shows that this fall is on track to be one of the warmest on record. According to the data, the average temperature across the lower 48 this season is more than 7 degrees above normal. This is higher than the previous record in 2016, when the temperature was a little over 4 degrees warmer. And just like in our area, storms moving across the country will finally help it to feel more like fall. However, millions of Americans will still be dealing with above average temperatures through at least the end of the month of November. And this also comes as the extreme drought continues across the Northeast, causing New Jersey's governor to declare a drought warning statewide. Residents impacted regions are being asked to do what they can to conserve water, keeping many on edge. And it's not just low reservoirs causing concern. Environmental protection officials say the entire New York City water system is in dire need of replenishment.
Normally we'd have from September until now about 10 inches of rain, and we've only received about 2.5 inches of rain. The New York City system is at 63% capacity right now. Normally it would be about 79% capacity.
Man, and while some rain is expected in portions of the Northeast later this week, it's hard to say if it will bring any major relief. Well, taking you above the atmosphere now to where more northern lights will be visible for parts of our country. Maybe not us, though. According to NOAA, starting today until Thursday, places from Alaska to Michigan have the chance to see the stunning light show. These, though, are not a result of a geomagnetic storm. This comes after the last round of northern lights were visible as far as our area and even into parts of Florida. All righty, coming up, we continue to talk about that secondary severe weather season. We're joined by our friends at the Jefferson County EMA as they bring helpful tips on the best way to prepare. We'll be right back in 30 seconds. All right, everyone, welcome back into First Alert Weather Extra. We know many of you are getting ready for Thanksgiving, and that also means probably planning those travel plans, whether that's flying, maybe hitting the road. But I just wanted to talk more about our friends taking flights this week. We're seeing across the Midwest and up towards Fargo, Minneapolis, Omaha, Nebraska, St. Louis, Missouri. Well, there are minor to moderate areas of delays. So these are air travel delays. And the reason why is we're tracking an upper level low for that area that could be bringing some type of precipitation, maybe some snow, but also maybe some rain. But heading out the door here, I have some good news for those of you who are tired of the wet weather we've been seeing today. Heading out the door tomorrow will actually be dry, 7 a.m., upper 50s, low 60s though, really for most of your Wednesday. Not a very warm day, but we're actually not getting much warmer later into the week. We have some freezing temperatures as we approach later this week in the morning, and we'll talk more about that right here in just a few minutes. But now we want to talk to Wes and our friends at the EMA about the severe weather season approaching and how we can always be best prepared.
Yeah, that's right, Tania, with Thanksgiving right around the corner, and we always think about, of course, the Iron Bowl during that time of the year. And if you recall, it's always a reminder that we can have some crazy weather this time of the year. We've seen sleet and cold during that game. We've seen severe weather happen during that game, so we know this is an active time of the year, and that's why we brought in our friends with the Jefferson County EMA, Melissa Sizemore, also a degreed meteorologist. Yeah. And great to have you. It's awesome having you on the team with the Jefferson County EMA because you can bring more of that background to the severe weather that we deal with in the fall.
Yes, many people know in the state of Alabama, our severe weather season runs from really October all the way through May, and sometimes 12 months of the year, depending on what the pattern looks like. So,
well, recently I had a chance to attend. You guys had an integrated warning team workshop in Chilton County, and you brought in media, you brought in a lot of the EMAs around the state of Alabama, and these collaborations are very beneficial in preparing for severe weather. One thing I really took from that, you guys really focused and talked a lot about building weather ready. And just talk a little bit about that and some things that we need to consider, you know, when it comes to construction. I know we always talk about mobile homes, be out of mobile homes if there's a tornado, but also we're seeing site-built structures that receive significant damage.
yes, no, what a lot of people don't realize is there are some really awesome mitigation measures that they can do on their site-built homes to actually prevent further damage from some of those weaker tornadoes that we see here in Alabama, EF0, EF1, EF2s. One of those being actually mitigating and fortifying your garage door, because if your garage door fails, that's going to create uplift in your home and create further damage to your home structure in an event like a tornado.
It was amazing. We talked, there was a wind engineer and it actually showed video of a cul-de-sac in Florida, and the homes across the street had heavy damage, and it was because the garage door was facing the direction of the tornado, and it was just the wind. When it got inside that home, it was crazy. And you think about it, and he made a lot of sense. He said this tornado did not weaken just because it crossed the street.
Yeah. No, and it's insane seeing some of these things. As you know, you see some homes that aren't affected, and you see if one's just situated just right, seeing it be a total loss. And there are just some simple things that people can do, whether it be put a fortified roof on their home, or getting their house fortified and certified by Smart Home America as a fortified home, or fortifying their garage door. Simple, what we would consider low to medium cost mitigation measures that they could do to help protect their home from hazards like that.
And I want to talk a little bit more about that in the future right here on Weather Extra, but also I want to talk a little bit about with severe weather season now upon us. I mean, last night I can always tell the tower out here, we hear a loud hum when you have the south wind, and that always signals that we do have the setup for storms. The pattern is changing right now. What can we do? Some things that we may not think about with respect to planning.
Well, first and foremost, have multiple ways of receiving notification when we do have severe weather, whether it be downloading the First Alert Weather app from WBRC, signing up for emergency alerts through our agency, having a weather radio. Multiple layers is important, because it's like Swiss cheese. If you have just one way, you've got holes in your method, but when you layer Swiss cheese, all of the holes are covered. So you're protecting yourself in terms of understanding what is coming and when it comes.
What a great way to put that. And also, you know, social media, you really lack immediacy on that platform. And that's one thing I try to warn people. Don't just try to base getting your information from social media because of the immediacy and how quickly the weather can change.
Yeah, no, we actually encourage people to utilize social media as a way to receive information before the weather actually hits. So just staying up to date on what is occurring, maybe where the storms are at, and getting an idea of how they could prepare their home just in time, right? Not when the warning hits an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours before we see that severe weather impacting here.
Well, tell us some resources you guys have that we can check out.
Yeah, we actually just launched a brand new alert system. It's called Jeffco Alert, and it actually allows people to receive notifications not only in English but in multiple languages, which is really awesome. So we're able to cater to our English as second language individuals within our county, as well as a new mobile app that will also ping people with alerts as well, which is really nice. You can download the My Alerts app on the Google Play or the Apple iOS store and get that information. And if you want to sign up for further weather alerts, kind of customizing what you want to receive, you can go to our website at jeffcoema.org and sign up for that.
Okay, well, thanks so much for stopping by, and we will be talking more about that next chance for rain and going beyond the 7-day forecast. Great to see you, Melissa.
Thank you, Wes.
All right, have a happy Thanksgiving. We'll see you back here after the break. And welcome back into First Alert Weather Extra. And no storms on the radar right now, but we do have some lingering rain showers. And you can see some of this is really, really light stuff, but it is just enough where you're going to need to flip on the windshield wipers. A very soggy evening out there and still some patchy fog. But you can see actually around Alabaster, Wilton, and back into Chilton County, nice little area of steadier rain that's along Interstate 65. It is a wet go there from Prattville north to Birmingham and also around Abernathy that in Tuscaloosa County over towards looks like in Brookwood area there. Still seeing some rainfall, and down into Duncanville and down into Hale County, but the rain starting to become more spotty here around Walker County, Jasper, north of Manchester. You get into the Houston area, Addison, around Smith Lake. Coleman catching a few breaks and some scattered showers around parts of Cherokee County, north to Galesville, and also towards Gadsden there. A little bit of rain happening, but it's been a very impressive rain event out there. Our weather watchers checking in, some of them with over 3.5 inches of rain, something we really needed. And the wet weather moves out tomorrow. Actually, not too bad starting out. We're going to see the temperatures. What will happen here, they'll briefly warm up during the day. So let me show you this. Tonight, overnight, notice the rain. It just tapers off to some patchy drizzle and some foggy weather into the early morning. Still some morning clouds around, but as those clouds start to break into the afternoon, the wind picks up, and notice by 6:30, even though the high's in the 60s, a big drop. We're showing 47 in Coleman by 6:30 tomorrow evening. So that temperature really starts to drop, and you throw into the mix the winds gusting out of the northwest at 10 to 20 miles per hour. That's going to make it feel quite chilly, but the windy conditions will continue Wednesday and also into Thursday. There's tomorrow. You can see winds over 20 miles per hour, and we'll see the same there, possibly as high as 40 miles per hour on Thursday. So very windy conditions. And again, I mentioned the best yard work day. Well, looks more like Friday and then a Saturday when the wind settles down. But the weekend looks dry, just chilly out there. Cold mornings, near freezing. I would plan for some frosty conditions during the early morning hours. Early Friday, a good chance that we could touch freezing in some areas to the north there. So a first alert for a colder start to the day, and then you can see that chance for wet weather returns next week, and it looks like we could see some rain just around the Thanksgiving time frame. And right now, as we go to meteorologist Tania Michelle, we will be talking more about Beyond the 7-Day.
Oh yeah, Wes, we love to get our family, our friends, our viewers, all of you ready for what's to come. So the next thing you can see right here, a cold front is going to move through next week. We're seeing a bigger and a more frequent pattern of these cold fronts moving through, and that's going to continuously drop our temperatures back after we slightly warm up, dropping them again. But not only does it drop our temps, well, we also usually get a little bit of rain from them. So this front could bring us some showers. We're watching some rain around next week, Wednesday, Thursday time frame. Here we are Thursday, 8 a.m. One of our models showing that, hey, there's a good chance that some wet weather could be popping up across central Alabama just in time for your Thanksgiving meal. So yes, you asked for the food, but the rain is what Mother Nature is asking for, right? We're still dealing with drought across the state. So some much needed wet weather that we cannot complain about. So that's looking beyond the 7-day. But I want to take you now to Arizona, where 2 doctoral graduates at Arizona State University have come up with a new roof coating that freezes and unfreezes during the day to help keep buildings cool in rising heat. Fox's Steve Nielsen shows us more.
Even on a cool Monday morning in Tempe, Matthew and Ashe roll out their faux commercial building roofs. They're testing just how hot they get.
Base coat, top coat, it's making it seamless.
He's talking about a new roof coating unlike any other. The two friends spend hours at Arizona State University offices together daily, testing and retesting their coating. They developed it as doctorate students and then started a company, Encoat, after they graduated.
We didn't want to leave all that research behind us and go work in corporate. So we were like, how can we use this technology and make the biggest impact?
This blue goo, that's the magic. Inside it, millions of particles that they've developed at ASU that they say act like ice packs. It freezes at night and cools during the day.
So we've actually formulated it to resist UV and IR. Our second layer, that's our thermal barrier. So any heat that wants to come into the building or heat that wants to escape, it hits this barrier and it stays trapped. It acts like a blocker.
It's a brand new type of commercial roofing, and it has to be tested, polled, and retested. They coated a few classrooms, and the results were better than expected.
When we did it, we ran that for 12 months, and we collected data on the performance, and we saw a 25 to 30% reduction in heating and cooling costs.
You hear that? Up to a 30% drop in cooling bills. Inside the lab, they developed a heat box to mimic the desert sun that they've used thousands of times.
Every mix and batch we make, we test it, every competitor we benchmark against, so this has been used quite a lot.
Yeah.
Now SRP is testing the coating on a roof at ASU's Polytechnic campus in the spring to see if they can offer rebates for companies that switch to it. Matthew says the heat isn't going anywhere, so finding solutions like this matter.
Into the hundreds late in October in Arizona, so this problem's not going away. So yeah, for owners it's like, hey, we have the solution for you. For contractors, it's really a matter of, this is a next generation product that everybody from owners are wanting, like they need it.